So yeah, they see Lyra enter the jungle. They see Febiven enter the jungle. They see the Thresh path up from bottom lane to go into the jungle here. Right? They see him coming in. They see everybody. Krugs aren't up. Red is up. This is like one of those cases where you go, I have to fight for my red. I can't let it go. You're in no position to get it. This jungler is stronger. He has red smite. You do not have red smite. I understand that you have bombies, but red smite beats bombies, especially when it's a low numbers fight. Thresh has priority because Caitlyn and Thresh have been booty blasting your bottom lane. Like, I don't understand. Your bottom lane is losing. You have to seed your jungle. It feels bad, man, but you have to. He then gets spotted by this Scryer's Bloom that gets popped, and he like wants to go here and use his trinket ward into this bush. But of course they're fucking there. You see Febiven over there. What are you gonna try to do? Steal it? Like maybe they collapse? But the blast cone's up. They have an escape route anyway. Like, are you trying to smite steal this? If this isn't a Thresh, and it's like some other support champion, maybe. But even then, the blast cone would get whoever this is over on your ass anyway. So, yeah. They just... Yeah. The Thresh... Does the Flay get him? So he hooks him. Goes in. Yeah, he flays him, I think, into the Shockwave. I don't know if the Shockwave's going to hit after the flash. Let's see. Hakuo even throws a lantern, too. It's just like... Yeah, I think he would be out. I think he would be out of the Shockwave. I think he would be out of the Shockwave by the time it actually goes off. And so Hakuo gets this flay. Is that the direction it's going? Wow, he gets a... Wait, I can't even see like the indicator for the flay. It looks like the flay's going this way. And I guess it clips Mike Young's hitbox slightly. So he flashes, gets hit by the flay, which looks like it's here. And that flays him into the Shockwave, which brings him there as Lyra takes the lantern, so he doesn't have to use flash. It's just crazy. Like, you don't even need to check. Like, Mike Young, just give it up. Just give it up. Give it up, man. Your bottom jungle, it's not worth it. Bjergsen's pushing lane. He'll come in a minute. Maybe you'll get your Raptors. What did he just get hit by? Oh, Kog'Maw R. Yeah. So, I actually think that Apollo look at how many minions are in this wave. There's 3 that these guys that TSM have killed. There's still 5 minions for TSM, 3 minions for Clutch. Their Clutch is playing differently. Clutch is playing differently on purpose. Because they're not shoving. They're letting TSM shove with their superior minions. They walked up, took a trade. Apollo has aggro, and he takes some extra damage here. Because like even just watching them here on the bottom side, like Kog'Maw gets there first, so they're like, okay, let's just let them shove, right? So they let them shove. They're playing really defensively now, even though they were shoving underneath turret the whole time. They know Skarner's on the top side of the map because he handed off the blue. So normally, you would play aggressively because you know Skarner's top side. you should just shove them under turret, right? That's kind of how the book goes. If you know where the enemy jungler is and it's the opposite side of map of you, you shove, especially as an aggressive lane. So they know Skarner's top side because he gave the blue over to Bjergsen. And so they don't push the wave. They play defensively, making it kind of look like they don't know where Skarner is. Then they take a trade. The trade is a bad trade, but they're being shoved in, so obviously it's bad. And then it makes TSM come to the middle point of the lane, and then some, and then it sets up this play here where they just train them down. Because if they're underneath the turret, they have way more time to react to this with wards and stuff. And instead, wow. So it's like a super good wave manipulation and changing of your play style from the bottom lane here. But then, like, watch this execution. Like they've baited them in by making it look like they're idiots. It's like what would Rush say? Like play like you're dumb, play like dummy or something. Um, play like idiot. And so Apollo and Hako kind of do that. And it's just so clean. Where Mithy is here, Sven is here. That's right. Sven should be the one who's in front because he can take hooks and then get devoured. But then they just bring Lyra in. He flashes the hook. That's 2 for 1. Spits out the cog. Olaf comes through. R, flash E. Walks through. Can't finish him. And then they even get the TP out of Bjergsen there. Like, that's just a massive play. Because now mid lane gets the shove for clutch. They got both flashes here. They use the jungler's flash, and they use the heal and the flash and ignite here. So you still have flash advantage here. So you're not in too much danger. And Hakuo just has to play correctly. He'll lantern out when he'll play back and lantern out when you think the jungler's around. He'll play aggressive when you and try to land hooks on these flashless guys otherwise. But Bjergsen doesn't have TP. So it's like really good. Yeah, pretend to be dumbass. That's what it was. So yeah, they pretend to be dumbass and they take a dumb trade. And Bjergsen doesn't even get an assist on top of it. But like, Clutch Gaming baited them. That's 100% a bait. Like, they know Skarner is topside because the blue buff handoff. Lyra makes a really good call to that he's coming bottom, but this is a play that like starts here, right? It's a play that starts around here, or even before that, because they get a better back timer, right? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's a wave setup right there, boys. So they push in. It's at the turret. You want to freeze the minions here. If you're Sven. You want the minion wave here. You want it out of turret range because turret is going to shove the wave for you because it's going to do all this extra damage and push the wave for you. Instead, you want it here, build up a slow push. And what happens is Sven has to push. Because it kills the caster minions for him. It's going to kill these melees faster. Boop. Boop. Melees are dead. Now the range minions, you leave for a little bit. You try to hold on to them. Your melees will kill them eventually. So I actually think he has like a 9 minion wave there. Or something. So Clutch Gamer are getting pushed into. And this is because of the way that the wave wasn't caught at the turret. If Sven like walks up further, he can actually like help them slow push. But even then, the slow push is something that Lyra is going to counter. So it's like really good setup from them to shove all the way into the turret, bounce the wave towards them, not contest the wave that has extra minions in it, and then Sven and Mithy are now in a spot where. Let me find the wave really quickly. Let me just actually. Sven and Mithy are now in a spot where They have 5 minions. This wave is going to shove this way. And then it's going to get here, and it's going to have extra caster minions in it, and it's going to just stay here. And then the Caitlyn Thresh can freeze on you. And so what they want to do is you want to finish off these last minions and just push it all the way to the turret if you can. But of course, it's a losing matchup. So because of the bounce, it would slow push and build up towards Clutch Gaming. And Clutch want to do that because it forces you to do something. You bring your jungler down to like break the freeze, but you want to be able to freeze it anywhere in this area, not actually up here. You want to freeze it anywhere here, so you have a long lane, so that if you land a hook, you get to chase down. They don't really have any way to like deal with it. They have to like wave clear with the Kog'Maw R and try to fast push it like all the way in. But like Clutch Gaming could freeze this wave if they wanted to, because it's just such a big wave, 5 minions versus 3. And so they are in a win-win situation because they bounced it. So either they freeze and they keep winning because they're up 15 CS already, or they set up a trap, force you to come towards them, and Lyra's there because you don't have your jungler to bait it. So either they get more gold than you, or they bring their jungler down and they gank you, and then they have more gold than you. It's actually pretty insane. Oh man, Hako takes a lot of damage there. Oh yeah, also, when does it happen? Oh yeah, the beginning of this right here. He gets his support quest done. So where is it? He puts a ward right there. So he gets his support quest done, gets a ward, places the ward there. They go to Dragon. A few minutes later. And he's placed another ward in the middle of the lane. Just options, you know? You like options. Solo TPs to that. Oh, solo TPs to the ward that he placed down from his quest completion. Mithy doesn't have that luxury. Since he's getting bodied in lane, he actually doesn't have his quest completion just yet. The way you can tell is the eye opens up on the little icon. The eye actually opens up when it's got the icon changing. So Solo has this flank on them. They know that Sven doesn't have any summoner spells. They know Mike Young doesn't have any. They know Mithy has barely any. And Sven is just dead. Alright, when's this mistake? Bjergsen gets shockwaved solo, so he can't join as quickly? Okay. They put a trap down. They TP. They cancel it. Solo's already TP'd in. When do you W, Mithy? Pretty sure they see Solo. Like right here. Eat Sven. Eat Sven. Eat Sven. You have cleanse. Even if you get hit by Solo's like stun, you have cleanse. AD carry is more important anyway. when you're playing a low mobility AD carry in professional play, your defensive tools are not your own. You draft around it. Janna's, Kog'Maw's, or Janna's, Tom Kench's, Brahms. And if your support isn't playing well, it makes you look even worse. Man. Yeah, so wait. Wait. Why? Wait, what are you? Why are you here and you here? Hello? This ward is disabled. This ward is disabled. This is going to regen HP. Somebody has to walk up to kill it. That's fine. If you want to keep this ward so badly, just put your own. Just place your own ward if you want to keep a ward there. It's okay. Good golly, Miss Molly. Oof. Come on! So, like, the decision for Sven to be the one to walk up and even, like, do something about this ward is weird in the first place. Because, like, the big thing about control wards is they can't see into the bush. You can. Mike Young could literally be standing here, and they would have no idea. And so they're waiting for Lyra to come up to check this bush. So he, like, autos it twice. Then he's like, okay, push them off. And it already starts regenning like this, and then he places his own. Then he does it. Their ward's gonna do jack diddly dog shit. He's gonna do nothing. It's okay. You can both have vision of this bush. That's fine. Place your own ward. You don't have to kill theirs. It's not going anywhere. And he put himself at risk. He has flash. I'm pretty sure he sees it coming, unless this is like a ward that's like in blocked off in terms of its vision. I don't know. Unless this ward is like on this side of this polygon and it's like right here, then it won't give vision around this corner. And it'll just give vision like that. Weird. So if it's like right there, then yeah, he can't see this. But he puts his own ward down. Hakuo throws out the hook. He's not guarding him. You don't need to kill that ward. You just don't need to kill that ward. But like, he shouldn't even be there in the first place, so it doesn't matter. I think he sees the hook unless the ward is really off, and even if he doesn't see the hook, he shouldn't be there in the first place. And if he is there, he should have Mithy. So it's kind of like Sven shouldn't be there. If he is there, he should have vision of this. If he doesn't have vision of that, he should be there. So it's kind of like a trickle down on whose fault it is. And then he flashes and dies to the ignite. So he uses his flash and his heal. Mithy uses his flash and his cleanse. Doesn't get his gray health off in time. Because Lyra flashes and E's. Mithy found his cleanse real fast. Real fast. I don't think Mike should be the one to kill the ward because he doesn't have flash. I just think you don't kill the ward. I just don't think you can. This turret is so close to going down. You have control of the bush. If you really want it, you just place a different ward down. You don't have to like dominate the bush. You just have to have vision of it. And if you want to put your own ward down like he did, then that's going to be sufficient enough. And you deny them vision, they'll clear your control. That's fine. You both have a ward in there. You don't have to have domination of that. It's whatever. That's so good. That's so well done. So Hanser, he's screwed. The hook is dodged. Bahakuo threw a lantern to cut off an escape route. Hanser jumps this way. Hakuho is already doing that, saying he'll jump here, possibly flash here, flays him. Like, the way Haunter gets out of this is if he doesn't try to get cute, and he, like, jumps here and then, like, flashes here. Because there's no flash. And then there's a flash here. But that's, like, the only way he potentially gets out of it. But I think what he's trying to do is get to Bjergsen. Like, if he can get over this wall, Bjergsen's right there. So he would get a shield and could survive. But it's just really well played from Hakuho. Like, if Hakuho doesn't do that fast, and they don't get the damage on him to kill him, like, he probably gets shielded by flashing the wall. He gets ultied in. Let me check that hook real quick. That's a good hook. He has to go here. Either he's walking towards Febovin, and that delays him further and means that Mike Young takes more damage and potentially dies, and just lead him with it. Because there's no, like, dodge angle here diagonally. This is just, like, this cucks Mike Young. His only angle is to go backwards, which makes him take damage, or he takes the hook. So it's, like, it's really good that he lines that up with the terrain. Mike Young gets devoured. And Solo drifts, man. When's he ulti? Right now. So Solo actually ultis from here through here. So he gives him the initial D, dude. He goes right through the back of the red buff. So they didn't see him coming. I actually don't blame Mithy for, like, devouring Tom Kench there, but that's a really good Scion ulti. Like, Solo had a really good ulti there. And then everybody, like, just went off of Mike Young and went towards Sven. Because, like, they're all over here. This is where your battle lines are, is clutch. And this one is here. And they're about to collapse this one this way. So normally you'd be like, okay, let's just fill this vacuum. But instead they go here. And I really like that. Yeah. Because now he's kind of sectioned off from the rest of his team. Yeah, the Scion just completely changes the formation with his ultimate, and the fact that there's no flashes here. But, like, the initial fault is Mike Young overchasing. You should not overchase for the Orianna. Once the flash is burned, just switch targets. You switch targets when the flash is burned, or you just go for Apollo in the first place because there's no lantern and there's no net. Wait. The issue here is Mithy gets the shield from Bjergsen. No, that's Bjergsen's fault. Bjergsen mantra Qs. He mantra Qs right here to try and get damage on Apollo. You should be saving mantra for your team to retreat in a siege situation. I understand, like, you really want to poke and, like, deal damage and, like, force them off and stuff, but when they're potentially collapsing on you, you save it for the retreat. Yeah, because now he can only shield Mithy, who was the straggler, just barely. Like, Mithy is just in front, and he's like, oh, if Mithy gets hooked, it's bad. Mithy can eat whoever gets hooked. And wait, what the fuck? Wait, how did this happen? Hold on. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay. Apollo sets up a trap line. They all run through the trap line. Because they don't have, like, a tank here or anything. Or I guess Mike Young doesn't want. Nobody wants to take a big like chunk of damage. So they the trap line is still there. Traps all intact. So they push up. Mithy goes here. Realizes they have control of this bush. They have control of this bush. There's traps behind them. They really need to save the Bjergsen ultimate for the retreat, especially because they're probably going to want to go to Drake, right? Like, Drake is the exit route. So the traps behind them, like, cucks them anyway, but they want to go past. And they want to go down here. So, like, Hauntzer's pressuring here so that he can secure the exit route. Everybody goes, but the fact that Bjergsen doesn't have his ultimate now and he used it for poke is kind of what gets him caught. And then Mithy's the one who got sped up, and he actually just like speeds up too much. Like, man, Hakuo was so flat, so fast. Man, Sven doesn't even like flash. Sven doesn't even flash reactively. He flashes predictively. Like, he doesn't get hit by the Olaf axe, right? He's not slowed. And Hakuho actually doesn't. Sven flashes before the hook is even thrown. So Sven flashes. Mithy is too far ahead to save him. And even if Mithy turned to save him, Mithy probably ends up getting hooked instead, like, based on the trajectory. Like, he would have to. He, like, pushes back once. But then if he, like, goes here to, like, I'm going to save you, he probably gets hooked unless he reacts to it. So, the flash from Sven, I don't like that he has to use it because I think Bjergsen should have just R'd them out of there. Yeah, he takes a rapid fire cannon static shiv hit, and then an R, and then Sven's out, and because he flashed earlier, so it's like because Bjergsen didn't RE for them to get out, Sven flashes. Sven is left in this situation where he can't even catch a wave, and he gets blasted here. But like, he thinks he's safe, but he's not. He just gets destroyed. The predator comes out. Boom! They have no vision control. He dies. Oh, it just piles on, man. When it's crazy. Like, when one person makes a mistake and it affects another person, it increases the likelihood that they're going to make a mistake. Right? Like, because this person didn't do something, it's going to make this other person look bad in just a minute. Right? Or it changes the way that the person has to play. So the game is so team based, and that's why it's always like, this is a good player on a bad team, and or they like used to be really good and then they join another team and they look like crap. Like, a lot of the times it's not individual mechanical skill, it's the way that they're being played around, or it's the mistakes that other people are making, sometimes the mistakes that they make. Like, it just affects everything, right? Like, Sven, I think, has died 5 times, and I'm trying to think how many of them are really, really his fault. The one at the bush was really his fault up top lane, because you don't even have to hit that ward. But like, Mithy isn't there to save him. The one mid, now that his flash is down, he shouldn't be there. But like, he shouldn't have had to blow flash, right? Is ultimately what I'm coming down to. Is he shouldn't have had to blow flash. So I actually don't feel like that's his fault here, because now he has to play differently because of somebody else. They got baited bottom lane. Yeah, so the one that's his fault is the not freezing or slow pushing of the wave. And even then, it's like, Yeah, the one bottom he could have 100% avoided because he didn't freeze the wave and wait for Mike Young to do Rift Herald and then get to the other side of the map. And they abused that. So like that one is clear. I'm trying to remember the other ones. 5 times is like actually insane. I don't even remember all of them. Oh wait, he got ultied. Yeah, he got ultied by the Scion because he didn't have flash from before when he blew his flash. So that one definitely hurt him a lot. But that one was Mike Young's fault for chasing the wrong target, in my opinion. And it put Sven in a bad spot. 80 carries will look good or bad, usually due to their team. Usually. But I actually think Sven he's partly responsible for his deaths, but he's not fully responsible for pretty much any of them. I think this one is probably the one that's like most avoidable for him, where he should just back all the way up. I really like the way you put it, Blue Flamingo. Most of them are partly his fault, but none are 100% his fault, which I absolutely believe in this game. All right, let's check this Baron. So with Sven dead and no summoner spells available, they rush the Baron. Okay. The stop onto him. Mike Young gets devoured by Mithy. Mithy poops him out. Mike Young flashes. Dies. And then they just kill it by smiting really early and okay. Where is everyone? Hauntzer's bottom. Hauntzer's saying, fuck you guys, I'm gonna get a turret. He has TP, but he doesn't have Meganar. So he's like, his Meganar just wore off. He's like, I'm actually useless. Let's go. And he's just gonna take the turret bottom. Bjergsen has to operate in this small little pocket. He actually throws a really good RQ into the back of the pit. Actually, like, almost kills Apollo here. He has to heal. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. It's so rough. That's another good ulti from... Watch Solo here. Watch this shit. It is actually bonkers. Like, this guy is... I don't know how he does it. He's the fucking initial D... He's the drifting master. He starts his ulti right here. Like, this is when the icon changes. That means he started the ulti, right? So... Back up a little bit. Yeah, so icon is like that. Boom, he ulties. Look where he is. He's in like Pixel Brush. His ass is gonna go drift and like turn up into this shit. Through mid lane, goes towards the control board, wraps up, somehow doesn't hit this shit or the wall on the bottom side here. And he just clocks Mike Young. Look at that. Yeah, Mike Young in the corner pocket, dude. What the hell? Who's supposed to take it? I wonder who's supposed to take this. Because Mithy goes to here, but like Mike Young turns around and he's the one who takes it. But like Haunzer has Meganar, and Haunzer actually like turns around for a second. He's maybe just wiggling and like going back and forth, but interesting. Because like even if you grab somebody, the Thresh and the Caitlyn are just gonna lock you down. So yeah, he R's in. Mithy flashes away. He's like, my work here is done. But you didn't do anything. Exactly. Mithy stepping on traps, delivering his teammates to their doom. The Flay, the box, Mike Young destroyed by the Thresh. Can't do anything. It's weird because like Mike Young doesn't even have flash. Like Mike Young doesn't have ulti or flash. Why the fuck's he go in? Yeah, like what is his ass gonna do? Like Haunter, I think this was meant for Haunter. I think Haunter should have taken it, and then like you flash ulti Apollo into the wall or something, or you try to get something else done. So maybe it was meant for him, but I just think it's a dumb call in the first place. Like you shouldn't be doing that. Like you're actually just ending the game faster. That's the get me out of here ulti. It's like fuck you guys. Report ADC 0-5. That's the call right there. That's report ADC 0-6. And then they just end the game, right? Yeah. Whew. Yeah. There's a lot of mistakes from Mithy. Stepping on traps in lane phase, making it even worse. Sven had some issues. Bjergsen, like I think he wasn't playing for the team in both games. And I don't mean that in like a way where it's like, oh, KDA or anything like that. It's like in game 2, the TP should have been swapped out. In this game, he was forced down onto Karma, and I think it was like good draft from Clutch. Yeah, the tier 2 turret here is just really random. Like, there's the whole idea of like losing gracefully, but they don't want to do that. Sven gets shockwaves, and then they're like, well, I guess we might as well do something. And so Sven gets shockwave. Mike gets hooked, flayed in. Mike's probably going to die here because Hakuho's hook. Why did Mithy move back so fucking far? So he moves to here to like protect Sven maybe. But then Mike gets hooked and now he can't reach him. And then Mike gets chunked, then Mithy gets chunked. So yeah, he just like played overly safe. Needed to be around this area so he could potentially save Mike or whoever gets hooked. Somebody's getting hooked there, right? If Mike's not there, I think that hits Sven, right? Yeah, if Mike's not there, I think that hits Sven. Right. So it's just Hawk will put him in a rough situation there. And then that's us. Game 4.